I recently I had to learn something that I was going to be doing on camera that I had never done before. And that was kind of cool, so I got to go into the special effects truck. They set up a station, and I got taught how to weld. And not just weld, and I got to I got to cut angle iron and sheet metal, and I was using the cutting torch. That's really fun. Sparks flying everywhere. So anyway, the reason I had to learn how to do that, I'm not going to tell you.
I was wondering, Jensen, what was it like filming the house tour with Daniil and Jared? Do you think you and Jen would ever consider doing it as well?
First? Filming the house, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool. It was an afternoon. They came in and we gave a tour, which, you know, we've done with our friends numerous times. So it was just kind of like giving our friends a quick little tour of the house. We have a lot of fun items in our house that we've taken time to curate and put up. So there's a lot of funny stories that kind of is integrated into our home, and some people find that boring, others find it interesting, I don't know. But yeah, it was cool, and Architectural Digest was really, they were super professional, and yeah, it was a nice time. I really had nothing to do with it, I just kind of showed up and they were like, okay, here's your cameras, and I'm like, what are we doing? What's happening? They're like, we're gonna give a tour of the house to Architectural Digest. Oh, all right, welcome. So it was cool though. It was fun.
Fun to watch. I don't know if we would ever do an in-depth one, but we kind of show our house anyways. You know, like we'll do different shoots for Jen's Instagram, or we'll take pictures inside or outside and post them, or little videos here and there. So I don't know. I guess time will tell, but I feel like we kind of already let a little glimpse of our world into the stratosphere, the intrawebs. We'll see. I guess time will tell.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We have a bunch of stuff.
Why didn't you get rid of the doll?
The doll.
The doll?
Oh, the scary doll?
The one that creeps you out.
Yeah, it's
his favorite. Leave it.
No, it's like part of her, it's like her great-grandmother's or something like that. It's there to stay, let's just say that. But it's not going to stop creeping me out.
Of the skills you've used on the show, like welding, mechanic, picking locks, how many of them do you actually have?
Of the skills we use on the show, how many do we actually use?
Yeah, have actually able to do, like, are you a mechanic? Can you actually pick a lock? That kind of thing.
I can't pick a lock. I can do the credit card thing.
Shoot a gun?
When I can shoot a gun.
I can kick a door in.
I can knock somebody out. I can't get hit by a car. I'd like to not test that theory. I can't weld, but I don't weld on the show. I guess I technically have a driver's license.
But you don't drive.
I can read and I can Google some stuff. I mean, I can read real good. Real good.
I would say, I'd say our weapons skills are pretty good. They're probably not quite as broad as the Winchesters, but we certainly know how to handle the ones that they give us. And that came with proper training. Other than that, other skill. Driving, I can drive that car pretty well. And
I can pretend to be somebody I'm not, which I guess pretends to be somebody he's not, so I can do that. Yeah, I guess thank you for pointing out, I'm sort of skillless. I'm realizing that I gotta learn some stuff. Thank you for your question.
I can drink like Dean.
And I can eat like Dean.
Over the course of 14 seasons, y'all have played a bunch of different characters and also multiple iterations of your own character. Which one was the most fun? Not challenging, not difficult, just fun, and why?
I've often said I like Soulless Sam. I do, but something else was brought to my attention in the last couple of weeks. And maybe I'm gonna have to explain what this is. But I also like playing Gary Sam. That was fun in a proper sense of the word. So yeah, for those who don't know what it's called, what was it called? One called Swap. Swap? Swap. Yeah, that was truly fun. It was nerve-wracking, but it was fun to play. Yeah. There's another one. Oh.
This is one coming up. This might be a new favorite. A new version.
Yeah.
Of Sam. That's right, guys. Spoiler alert. Sam's gone. It's new Sam.
Dead Sam.
No.
Recast Sam.
It's
yeah. Stay tuned. You'll see. Yeah.
Okay. What was it? What was the question?
Different version. What's been the most fun?
Oh, the most fun.
Demon Dean.
I'm gonna have to go with Yellow Fever Dean.
What about Jensen Ackles Dean?
I never played him.
You played Jensen Ackles as Dean.
But I played Jensen Ackles playing Dean.
Playing Jensen Ackles.
I played Dean, played by Jensen Ackles.
Playing Jensen Ackles, playing Dean, playing Jensen Ackles.
Stop it!
When you really think about it, it was Jensen Ackles playing Dean.
It's not.
Playing Jensen Ackles playing Dean. What were your favorites?
Now that you said that Gary Sam, that was hilarious. I totally wasn't even thinking about that one. I was
Yeah.
gonna go with Soulless Sam.
Yeah.
And for Dean, I would think Demon Dean.
Demon Dean.
He would definitely be, you know, a favorite as well. There's something about the Yellow Fever Dean because he's playing a character who you know, really isn't afraid of much at all. And plays that up, the fact that there's not a lot that you know, frightens him. To then be frightened by everything was such a turn that I just had a lot of fun with it. It was fun to play.
That's my favorite episode, so.
Wow.
That's a funny episode.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was scary. I found myself laughing during the filming of that one quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you ruined a lot of really perfectly decent takes.
I left one of the scenes.
You did. He walked away. He was laughing so hard.
And
What was the scene? What was this? Oh yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. The snake's coming over, and I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I've got a snake the size of a tree trunk crawling across my shoulder, and he's 6 feet away, and then gets up and leaves the scene.
I really did. They had to change the camera angle so you didn't know that I wasn't there. I was like, nope. I think it's the only time I've ever done that. Like, nope, I'm not doing this. See you later.
I just, for some reason, caught a bit of maybe a blooper or something. I don't know. But it was when we were doing a scene over the top of the Impala, and Phil was directing. And you were laughing so hard on your off camera, and it was an over, and I couldn't get the words out because he was just like crying. He was laughing so hard, but the camera couldn't see him. It would just barely see him.
And you're like,
Something like that, yeah. And so I was like, I can't say these words to him because his face is so puckered and it's like leaking. And Phil's like, just keep going! And I'm like, I can't! Are you seeing him? Does he have to be in the scene?
It was at Riverview.
And no, it was at the...
Yellow Fever. It was Yellow Fever.
No.
Yes.
It was in the junkyard. It was Bobby's junkyard.
I don't know. We're both in suits.
It's Bobby's junkyard, 100%. And so I make him turn around, and he does the scene because now this shoulder's on camera, and you're just catching a little piece of him, but you see this. He's vibrating because he's laughing so hard. And the whole crew is laughing too.
It's Yellow Fever.
It's not.
It is. It's because you're like, what kind of crazy people?
No. That was a Riverview. This is a totally different scene. You're right about that scene, but that's not the scene I'm talking about.
It's all just.
I know. Look, man, 300 episodes.
God, I don't see what that is.
We're in a set. We're in a location in the 300th episode that we're filming right now that we haven't been to since season 8. And walking through the set last Friday, it was amazing. Like all of these memories came flooding back, and I was like, just walking through this little section, and I was just like, wow, I remember this vividly. I remember this. I remember this. I remember this, and it was 6 years ago.
Ellen and Joe, the hardware store?
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the scene between where Dean essentially tells Benny goodbye? That one?
You remember one of my favorite scenes without dialogue in supernatural history, the introduction of death, walking down the street?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great episodes and scenes filmed in that area.
The end.
The end? Uh-huh.
The glimpse into the future of post-apocalyptic.
Fight the fairies.
Fight the fairies. So I get loaded into the car and I'm like, you fight those fairies!
Yeah. And we haven't been there in 6 years, and so we go to shoot there, and like you said, you get back there, you have to set foot in that place for 6 years.
And it's because it became really the only place in Vancouver. It's called the Back Lot, and it's a film set lot that looks like a main street of a town, but it's not. It's just a facade. And it was really the only place in town, and we started using it immediately. It actually got built from the movie The Watchmen. They had originally built it and then left it, and the people that owned the land just left it up, and all these other productions started going, oh, can we use it, can we use it? And so Supernatural ended up using it quite a bit for a number of years, and then big movies started coming up, and big shows, Netflix shows and Amazon shows, and they just kind of outbid us, and we weren't able to use it for quite a while. But we got in there for this episode, which is kind of cool.
He lied to us, he used us. He cracked your gourd like it was zebra.
Shush.
Here we go. Shh. He lied to us, gosh. If you could see his face, I can't
look at you.
I can't look at him. But then you don't get the over.
Put his shirt on backwards.
Perfect. Does that work? All right, here we go. Yeah, now they're all laughing. Here we go. Cash is never. His shoulders moving. His shoulders. Can we? Okay, it's fuzzy. It's good. Okay. All right, here we go. I can hear you guys.
Shush.
All right. This is torture. There's so many people laughing, and now I'm crying.
Hey, you guys are kind of big celebrities now, but you used to be regular people, like us regular people.
I mean, I didn't want to say it.
Well, I was just wondering if you've met celebrities on or off the show or out in the wild where you fanboyed over them the way regular people fanboy over you now?
A bunch. Yeah, I sort of, I've met a few and kind of laughed, not expecting to react like that. The one that sticks out is Mike McCready, the guitarist for Pearl Jam. One of the traveling tour managers was a fan of Supernatural. They had a concert in Vancouver. And so we take Jen and Daniil, and we walk into the green room because we have backstage passes and whatnot. And McCready's standing over there, and I don't realize it, but Jen starts trying to get her hand away from my hand, and she's like, "You're hurting my hand." She's like, "What's wrong with you?" I guess I just started kind of like squeezing her hand, like in a really creepy way, like, "This is weird. He's right there." That's kind of one that sticks out to me.
I just had one recently, and I never got confirmation on who I thought it was, and I'll tell you why. So I was, that's kind of how I sounded. I was in the gym at a hotel, and I was working out, and it was just me, and there was an older gentleman on the elliptical thing, and then a woman over on the bike or something, and that was it. It was a small gym, pretty empty. And I was sitting there, and the gentleman got off of the elliptical and went over and started doing like cable stuff or whatever. And I looked at him and I was like, no. And I looked down, I looked back up, and I was like, okay, all right, what do I do? And for the next like 10 minutes, I didn't work out at all. I was like, oh, maybe I just need to get some water that's over by his station. And I'm like, oh, drank that quick. I don't know why I walk like that in the gym, but I do. And I finally realized, I'm like, I was like, just ask him, just be like, oh, are you playing in town? Or say something. And I literally couldn't build up the nerve to ask him. And I was like, well, this is ridiculous because I'm not working out anymore. Like, this is pointless. I'm just stalking this poor gentleman in the gym. And it's a very small gym, and I'm sure he's starting to notice it. And so I left. I was like, this is ridiculous, I'm leaving. I'm just going back to my room.
How did you walk out when you left?
I'm pretty sure it was Eric Clapton.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
But here's the thing, had I gone up and gotten confirmation and it was, I don't want to know what would have happened next. I don't want to know. I'd rather just play it cool. Which isn't cool at all. Probably worse than just going up and freaking out. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it was him.
Yeah, that's funny. You make me remember. I was at a restaurant in Sausalito, California, and we walked in. It was a nice Italian restaurant. And at the corner of my eye, I kind of saw a guy sitting in the front bar area with big old headphones on, and he was kind of like had a computer on his desk and was sitting there kind of like just swaying to some music. And I remember kind of going like, this doesn't seem like the right place for somebody to come in and just start listening to headphones. So I didn't think much of it. And then I kind of glanced over to like, who is this dude at this nice Italian restaurant who's just like sitting here jamming out to the music in his head or his headphones? And I look over and I'm like, oh, Carlos Santana, got it. He can do whatever he wants. As if he needed my approval or something. He can stay, guys. He's with me.
I just thought of another one. So the apartment that I live in Vancouver, there was a movie filming there. Some of you may have saw it. I don't know. Deadpool. And Ryan and Blake, the production had rented them an apartment in my same building. And I never did see Ryan because he was probably on set all the time, or I was on set all the time, whatever. But I did see Blake twice in the elevator, and it was just me and her child, and I'd be on and she'd get on, and like I've met her, I've like taken pictures with her. She was on the same network with us for years, but for some reason she gets on, and I'm just like. Don't make eye contact. Don't make eye contact. And she never said anything to me, and I never said anything to her. And
She probably thought you were a weirdo.
probably.
So when
Which is probably the same thing Eric Clapton thinks now.
When he first told me the story, it was slightly different. He omitted something. He said, he heard Ryan and Blake were in the same building, and he never saw Ryan. But when you told me the story, you said you never saw Ryan because the drone wouldn't go as high as his floor, or the blinds were always closed or something. I forget what you.
And I'm pretty good at flying that thing now.
Yeah, I had something the other day. I've had these things where people can't quite figure out, especially sometimes when I'm bearded or during off season or something. I can tell they're staring at me, but they don't know why, and finally give up on it. But Jen and I were on vacation with the kids over Thanksgiving break, and she's like, "Hey, let's go have a drink in the bar because we still have a nanny, and it's like 6 p.m. or something." And I was like, "Sweet, alone time because our nanny's watching the kids." And so I enter this like bar restaurant up in Whistler, and I'm sort of looking around. I can't see her, and I see her finally. 50 feet that way, and there are 2 glasses of red wine, and she's facing the other direction, has on this cool, stylish hat, and like her little coat. And I walk up, and I'm like, "Hey, baby, sorry, it took me a second to get here." And as I look, it's not my wife. So my hands are on her shoulders, I'm about to sit down, and she goes, "I don't know you." And as I turn around to look, I realized that Jen was like behind a post. And I walked right past Jen to come scratch some lady's shoulders. And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go sit with my wife. My bad. And Jen's like sitting there looking at me like,
Was she sitting with anybody?
no, she was waiting for somebody, like everything. It was Jen's
Oh, it
clothes.
would have been so much better if she was like, "Oh, wow. You look way better than your profile picture."
Or worse.
Gosh, you don't look anything like your profile picture.
You put on some weight, I guess.
Liars.
Check please. Mistaken identity. It was pretty embarrassing. But also,
What about the guy in the hotel last night? So Jared and I go and we check in late last night because we flew in
Oh, yeah.
Vancouver. So we just go grab a bite to eat at the hotel. And as we're kind of walking out, there's a door guy there, like a bellman.
what, 20?
Yeah, young good looking kid, like 9 feet tall. And we walk up and he's like, "Hey, you guys look just like those dudes from Supernatural." We're standing next to each other. And he's like,
He saw you first.
Yeah, he looks at me and he's
you look
like, "Oh, hey,
wait a
you look-
second. And you look like
Yeah,
the other
you-
one. That's crazy.
has anybody ever told you guys you look like this guy from Supernatural? And I didn't know, I'm like,
Is he checking with us? Are we getting punked?
because that's happened to me like by myself. Like, has anybody ever told you you look like that guy from Supernatural? And, depending on how much of a rush I am, I'll either be like, "It's me, yeah, how you doing, nice to meet you," or I'll be like, "You know what, I've gotten that a lot of times, and I use it." But this, it's like so blatantly obvious. And he's like, "You guys, you look just like him." And finally Jared's like, "It's because we are them."
And he's like,
And he goes, "No way! Oh man! My sister's gonna freak out!" And then he was like, "Okay." I think he wanted to ask for a picture, but he was like working and there were cameras, and he's like, "Okay, well, man, you guys really look like him." All right, buddy. Thanks a lot.
I've had some where they're like, "You look like the guy from Supernatural." And I'm like, "He sounds handsome." And they're like, The angel, you mean? Yeah, identity, funny thing. Thank you for your question.
Anyway.
I gotta say something before you introduce this young lady. I feel like we've hit a true milestone as a unit.
A new low?
No, you know damn well we can't go any lower. A new high, because as you came out to do the last question, and the band's doing what they do, and you and Jason are doing what you do, she was mouthing the words. It's now a hit single. She actually knew the words. She was literally over here going, I mean, right in time with you guys. I'm like, well, gentlemen, we've arrived.
Tell Jensen.
I did not know it, so.
She actually said to me, she goes, Jason's off.
She did not. She was not wrong. That was awesome. Anyway,
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, SPN family, men and gentlemen, and ladies and girls of the SPN family, please welcome Martha as our last question. 2018. Martha, where are you from?
Yes. What is your question?
What is your? That was our question.
Okay, so
Or where is your question? What is you from?
I'm from here.
Miami. Bienvenido a Miami. I learned that from Will Smith. Welcome to Miami. Lo siento.
I apologize.
I already did that on Espanol. So, it's a long flight. No, poquito.
Okay. First of all,
she's got the lyrics.
Excuse me. I just need you to hold this. Don't use it, just hold it.
First of all, I want to thank you guys for all the
Thank you back.
Anyway, my question was, what's been your favorite moment from season 14 to film so far? Maybe not necessarily that has to do with the storyline, but just in regards to, you guys, like, behind scenes.
That's a great question. There have been a lot of moments so far. I'll say this. This is kind of a strange answer because it hasn't yet happened, but my favorite moment that I've been looking forward to for a long time, we're going to film in 4 days. So even though it hasn't happened, I know it's going to be something that is going to be very, very special. So I'll go with that.
Well, you stole mine. So,
all right.
I will. I'll say another one. Another one of my favorite things that we have filmed is a bar fight that will be coming up very soon. There you go. I mean, there's not a whole lot I can say about it without giving too much away. So there's a fairly epic bar fight that comes that's coming up. Is it the next?
No streams.
No, we won't spoil.
No. I'm just trying to figure out what episode it is.
I feel really bad for messing up your hair, Ellie. night joke on a ride. I mean, it's...
He found that outside the parking lot, so I wouldn't like do that.
When Rob's not here, I really freak out, man. Oh, it's stuck. Crap. Okay.
Yeah, that's...
So coming up soon. Unfortunately, both of you haven't seen yet. But
That's creepy level expert there. That's
Thank you.
Yes.
thank you, Martha.
Thank you, goodbye, Mr. Jensen and Jared Powell.